Alright, I'm back in Seattle for a few days for a couple meetings. And I thought I'd make a video about being assertive. Yesterday I got to see a student who had walked on me because I wasn't being assertive. This was back in November. He had called me a few days before the start of the semester. He wanted to come see me during my office hours, and my office hours began at 6 p.m. and he said he would come at 6. So the day of the meeting, I got to the office at 5:30 to have some dinner, and I heated up some stuff in the microwave, and I went to my desk to watch some YouTube videos of some chemistry. I like studying organic chemistry on my own. And he showed up to my office early. He got there at 5:30 and demanded that I answer something of his. He was trying to set up some homework on his computer. He was using a Mac. Everybody else was using a Windows. I don't know why he insisted he couldn't get a hold of a Windows machine. He didn't need anything high-end, right? I use a machine with 64 gigabytes of RAM. I paid about $3,000 for it. But anything that he could buy for $200 at Walmart would have done, and yet he said he couldn't get a hold of something like that, and he insisted on doing all his homework on Mac, which is fine. I encourage people to explore a little bit, but it makes you wonder about why he is insisting on taking the course at the moment if he can't even afford a $200 computer. Whatever the case is, he comes here at 5:30, and I try to answer him, but I get very edgy. I used to have a little bit of an eating disorder. If I got ready to eat and something got in the way, I got really edgy. The best analogy I can think of is if you have a nicotine habit, right, and you can't get out of a meeting, or you're taking a long distance flight, or okay, not everybody who watches my video is a smoker. If you're getting ready to masturbate and something gets in your way, you can't get out of your workplace, maybe your girlfriend is over at your place and you want her to leave so you can masturbate, and she can't leave for whatever reason, or she has something interesting to show you, or maybe the two of you are stuck together in quarantine and you can't wait for this whole thing to be over so you can go back to masturbating every day, right? That's the best analogy I can think of. Okay, so I get edgier and edgier, and I try to get him out the door as quickly as I can, and he threatens to drop the course. He point blank said to me, "Andrew, this is the second day of the course and I can't get my homework set up. I'm already running into trouble. I may have to drop the course." See, by not being firm at the beginning, "Hey, our meeting begins at 6. Why don't you come back in half an hour?" Oh, he also said that he spent 45 minutes in traffic and all I'm going to answer is this and whatever. See, had I said, could you come back in half an hour, I could have taken care of myself. In half an hour, I could have been in a much better mood to answer him. But I let him play me, and I feel really stupid yesterday when I saw him. That wasn't the first time I've had a trouble like that. Many years ago, I used to love to ride share. When I would travel long distance, I would go on Craigslist and look for people to share a ride with to save some cost. I don't know if Craigslist has allowed that again. They banned it for some time at the beginning of the year for safety issues, and obviously because I spend so much time in my car, it's hard for me to do it anyhow. But people used to play all sorts of games with me, right? I would go to their place getting ready for the rideshare, and they weren't ready. They needed help to pack stuff. They want. I mean, it's bad enough that they don't mention up front that they're going to use up all the space in my car for all this crap. Okay, that's fine. I have the space. The problem is they need me to help them with packing stuff, and you know, I should have been assertive. What I should have done, right, is when I get to their place, we agreed on, let's say it was $50. I shake hands with them, collect the $50, and then they want me to pack, and it's taking way too much time. And at that point, I could put my foot down. Hey, I'm gonna leave, right? I have their money in my pocket. I don't think this is what we agreed on. Do you want to go? I'm leaving for New York right now, and get in my car and start the car, and they can make their choice on whether or not they want all that crap to go to New York, right? Chances are they won't, right? I do a lot of private tutoring, and I make it very clear nowadays that if people want to cancel, they need to give me either 24 or 48 hours notice, depending on the situation. And sometimes people come up with all sorts of weird terminologies for canceling. Rarely do I hear somebody point blank use the word cancel, right? Oh, their child has something interesting happen, right? I do a lot of tutoring with high school students. They just scored like a first date with somebody, right? Something interesting came up with their science fair project. They want to get back to it, right? Or blah blah blah, right? They want to go to this job interview, or my favorite is that all of a sudden they need to change the location. Their car broke down. Maybe I was meeting them at the library. This was before COVID. Maybe I was meeting them at the library, and their car broke down. Now can I go to their home instead? And they're calling me 2 hours before the tutoring session to tell me that, implying that if I can't make it to their home, they shouldn't be penalized for canceling, right? That's the implication of it, right? Okay, so I agree to go to their home. Oh, by the way, we have visitors in our home. Can you pick up my son and take him to the library? So now I got to commit all this extra time. My car might not even be ready to pick up somebody, right? Especially now that I spend so much time in my car on the road. The implication is if I can't do all of that and jump through all those hoops, it's my fault for canceling, right? They're shifting the cancellation to something that I need to do, right? See, I used to get walked on by all stuff like that a lot, right? What I should have done is put my foot down and said, our deal was that we're going to meet in the library at 3 p.m. Are you canceling? If so, this is the bill, right? But I get carried away sometimes by some of these weird discussions. And I learned from all these experiences that if you don't put your foot down, somebody else will, and it won't be to your favor.